Welcome, everybody, to Cultural FAQs, your favorite new talk show on the Brazilian Dragon Podcast Network. And my name is Felipe. I am the F in the FAQ, and I am joined by the great Quandel. Quandel, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing very decent.
Yes. So, Quandel, what is this show that we have going on today?
The show that we have going on today is going to be about a variety of topics. We're going to talk about our lives. We're going to be talking about current events. And we're going to be talking about, pop culture events as well.
Culture, which we do love here. You know, one of our first things that we bonded over was our love of television.
Yes.
And since we've become friends, we have dived deeper into all of the pop culture. We know so much about each other, but I'm like, we're both really insightful and really funny. So we should do something together. And as comedians, podcasters, and entrepreneurs in the entertainment space, I was like, we should have our own show.
Did you say Trumpreneurs?
Entrepreneurs. How dare you?
I thought you said...
In this economy, sir, please.
I was like, you're trying to get us canceled. We're already minorities.
But yes, so Quandel, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I'll introduce myself to any new listeners. But yeah, who are you?
Yes, I am Quandel. I am a comedian, and I am a drag queen. I am a screenwriter, and I am the sweetest fuck up you'll ever meet. I'm from Florida. I say Florida, Massachusetts. That's how we also bonded, because me and Felipe are from Boston.
We are bi-coastal boys. We went from Boston
bi-coastal
to
babes.
LA.
Yes.
And you are also a podcaster. What is it? What is your main podcast squeeze? The Hot Girl Hour, the Smoking Babes, Hot Smoking Babes?
My other podcast is Smoking Hot Babes.
Yes.
And then yours.
Oh, yeah. So this is where we do the Brazilian Dragon podcast. So myself, I am Felipe. I'm a Brazilian American, first generation American. And I moved out to LA, where I do stand-up, I do podcasting, I'm a writer as well, a very creative individual. And I am a massive consumer of pop culture. Pop. Oh my God, we got to talk about Magnitude later from Community. Did you ever watch Community?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, who
He's
from
the
Community?
guy who goes pop.
Who from Community?
Magnitude.
I don't know names.
He was the black guy with the catchphrase pop, where he would just
Childish Gambino?
No, that's
only
Donald
black
Glover.
guy I
Oh my
know.
God.
That's the only black guy I know.
We're gonna get canceled because you don't know Community.
No. I know Community.
Do you remember the election episode? He's literally a short little black king that says pop.
I feel like I just watched it. I feel like I did watch the whole thing, because I remember like Audrey.
Come for Quandel only. Do not come for me.
No, I just don't remember. I smoke a lot of pot. I don't remember stuff.
Yes.
I remember Community. I remember Amy Poehler. No,
that's Parks and Rec, sir.
Okay, you know what? Never
Community's
mind.
the one with Joel McHale.
Yes,
and Yvette Nicole
I
Brown.
said Yvette Nicole, who I love.
She's
Childish Gambino.
the best. Like, I literally love her. I'm obsessed with her. Did you see that she's gonna be the Orange in Among Us? The Among Us TV show or movie.
Oh, is she?
She's going to be the voice of the Orange Blob.
Oh, fierce.
Yes. I love her. I've loved her since Drake and Josh.
Among Us is amazing. Did you
play a lot of Among Us during the pandemic?
I tried. I could not. Okay, so there's this. I'm not good at games. There's this one game. There's this one level on Among Us where you're supposed to like go stealth. You probably know, it's like the very like first few levels. And you're supposed to go stealth and kill all the zombies. And like you have like 2 bullets, and I'm not used to that.
What you talking about? Among Us is the little game that everyone played on.
You know what?
Quandel's confusing us with like Call of Duty or something.
Oh my God, I smoked before I came.
You're good. Listen, we're very authentically
Among
ourselves.
Us. Oh my
is
God.
why...
Among Us. Speaking of Among Us, I've been watching The Circle. Have you been watching The Circle?
No, tell me about the AI, because I've heard a lot about this AI.
Okay, the AI. Nobody could figure out who the AI was, which is kind of ridiculous, but. You know, the thing is with us watching competition shows, it's like, we're always like, that is crazy. I would have known who the AI is. But we don't know. But like us being lovers of competition shows, we know when you're in that predicament, like in that space, it's so different. Things get clouded. Your judgment isn't the same. So I don't know if I would have known, but it seemed very obvious. Like he gave pretty like middle of the answer questions. I think that they just accept that he was like a pretty just like mediocre white man, and I was like, okay, yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, no, I was big into The Circle before the first season of the US show because I watched the first 2 UK seasons and I really liked those. Then I watched the first season of The Circle and I was like, eh. And then the Brazilian Circle was lit. The Brazilian season,
really?
that one was messy. I tried the French one, I didn't stick with it. And then I really kind of felt burnt out by the second US Circle. I don't like the US version. I like the international versions because it's less like social media, want to be social media famous. It's like all these influencers. And listen, I'm probably like someone who like associates a little bit with influencer culture just as someone who's trying to do podcasts and stand up. Like I feel like those are concentric circles in some communities, but the circle is just so forced sometimes with like the hashtag girly pops forever, hashtag we're recording a podcast, hashtag send message circle, hashtag alliance of the girls. So like they hashtag everything and it's just like, give me some space.
Okay, but my thing is, isn't like most American competition shows like very corny?
Some
like
of them.
Big Brother.
Big Brother can be corny.
Yes.
Don't get me started. I love Big Brother.
We love Big
love
Brother.
Big Brother. I love
We
Survivor.
stand.
Survivor's my main squeeze, but these two shows. But I feel like
Survivor does a good job of not.
yeah, they're
being
more
like that.
authentic. I feel like on Survivor. Versus Big Brother, you do have a handful of influencers that pop in every season, and then after Big Brother, they all become influencers.
Yes.
Like that's the thing. Like Cerie, she went on Survivor like 4 times, and I've never seen this much like social media engagement from Cerie since after she did Big Brother.
Yeah.
But Cerie is iconic. We both fell in love with Cerie at different points of our lives. We'll talk more about Cerie in a moment.
Yeah.
But Quandel, what led you out to LA?
The crack. I'm kidding. No, did not. It was the heroin. I'm kidding. No, it was I'm trying to recall.
So you're from the Boston area as well.
I'm from the Boston area, but when I came here, I was finishing up college and I was dating this guy and he was about to do like a conservatory in Atlanta for music because he was a singer. And he was like, you should do something with yourself. I was like, I am. So I was like, okay, I'll figure it out. And so I was like, what should I do? What should I do? And then I saw this school and it was in New York. It was New York Film Academy. And so there was one in Miami. There was one in New York and Los Angeles. And so I was like, I don't know. And I was like, I really don't want to be in Florida because obviously.
The
And
only reason to go to Florida is Miami or the Disney parks. But even then, it's still a risk for us.
Exactly. And I didn't want to go up, back up north because my family's also up there. So I was like, I want to get far away. And then Issa Rae also worked there. I mean, Issa Rae went to that school. So I was like, okay, bet I'm going to go to that school. So I go to that school and yeah, without like long story short, that's how, I ended up here.
We love that. Yeah. My story is I came out here for study abroad at the end of my college experience at Boston University. It was January 2020. I was a senior in my spring semester. And in March, Miss Coronavirus had other plans for us. So I went back home. I was at home for a while. I did some PA work there. And then I moved out here, did some PA work. And I've been here for about 2.5 years. And
PA work.
like production assistant.
No, I know. I was just for the people who.
Oh, Quandel, define PA.
PA. Oh, I probably not going to do a great job. Like I wasn't a great PA. But PA is a production assistant. It's basically the person who is the slave on set.
You do the production pack mule. You do whatever they need, whenever they need, and you get berated for it.
Well, I mean the least. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you get paid the least, but at least with show work, you at least get overtime consistently usually, which is nice because you go more than 8 hours.
Yeah.
But we want the job market to get so much better. We want pays.
For PAs.
Everything here.
I mean,
everything.
yes.
Everyone broke out in the streets.
Well, yes, 100%. Like, I'm not one of those people like one part of America needs to be, well salaried or whatever. No, everybody needs to be paid well, and I'm totally for that. But I feel like in the movement with film, a lot of the times we're like everybody else, but like when people get their things, PAs are the last to see things change. And that's why I'm just like, yes, everybody, yes, writers, yes, everybody needs to get paid their stuff. But I'm like, I want to speak out for PAs because I know how many times, like, especially because a lot of us jump from it and then we forget about PAs.
The
like
gig
once
economy
you're
is
another,
jumping around.
exactly,
Like, yeah.
And once you're out of that PA world, you're like, fuck PA, like whatever. You kind of, I mean, like you're not disrespectful, but you're just like, that's not in my, that's not my bubble anymore.
Yeah, I like to identify as a retired PA, but I know that if there's an opportunity, I will have to jump.
Okay.
Like we'll see what happens. But Quandel, this is the intention of this show is to do like a monthly talk show sort of thing. But like, how was your April? How was your April? Today is May the 4th for anyone watching or listening. But so happy Star Wars Day. But how was your last month?
Whew, I mean, my April was my birthday month.
Yes, happy birthday. How old are we now?
Aries King.
27. Slay.
But it was the beginning of the year is always rocky for me. I've been really like more so in my creative bag, so I've been more artistic. I've like fully been into drag and stuff like that.
Yes, tell us about your drag persona.
Yeah, so my drag persona is Lauren Ross. That's my middle name. And Diana Ross, because I'm really I love her story. So my third performance was at Exposure Drag at a lip sync battle. My first song was Freakum Dress, and then my second song was MacArthur Park by Donna Summer.
Giving Manila Luzon energy.
Period. You get it. You see, this is why I love him. You get it. I don't think anybody.
Were you dressed as Big Bird?
I can't afford that.
Okay. In this economy?
Right. And I'm so glad because honestly, I don't even think that people there even knew what that was because of. But also I do love the song as well.
You had the cake in the rain.
I tried to give it. I don't know if it came across, but I tried to give cake in the rain. So those both performances I was very happy of, very proud of. And then we go to the lip sync battle. The lip sync battle was very interesting. I was going up against a very beautiful ABFAB queen, Mia. Very fierce. We lip synced to Damage by Danity Kane. And like, it was so hot. So like, I can't do splits, but I can do like little drops, to make people, just to give like, oh, like, because I feel like whenever you like hit the floor, people gag no matter what. So like we did one where we like, she did her split and then I did my little spin around and then hit the floor at the same time. Yes. Cool till my wig comes off.
It's giving Milan in season 4.
Oh my gosh, my wig comes off and I'm just like, oh no, can it come back on?
You got to do the Monet exchange and have the pussycat wig under there.
I know.
Just in case.
I know. I should have had another. You know what? I thought about
But you're still a baby queen. You're still a baby queen, so you're still learning.
And the great thing about Exposure Drag, it's kind of like QT. It's like QT is our queer mic that we go to sometimes.
I love Quay. Just like, period.
Yes,
we got to have Quay on the talk show.
She's the founder of it, right?
She is, yeah. She is the QT.
Yeah, she is the QT. And she is a QT.
She is.
And a star.
When she said I was her celebrity crush, I wanted to follow her because I'm like, you're saying that about me? Yeah, you're standing up here looking like that?
No, there's a lot of queens that we can really go on about, and I could really go on about Quay a long time.
Quay is an icon. Like, this podcast, this talk show could just be talking about Quay for an hour, and we would like have a good time.
Yeah.
We definitely want to have Quay on the talk show as a third
we have
co-host.
To have something separate for her. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Quay and I are going to do a Scooby-Doo recap soon. Like, we're getting back into the podcast game. The talk show we're definitely going to do like in a more nice studio. Shout out to Dustin. Shout out to Dustin who is hosting us and letting us use his studio. Yeah. We love the studio space.
It's
Look how
fierce.
It's soundproofed as hell. We love it. This is a nice production.
It's
that we
like
got
what
here.
it's like what you see in like a
TikToks?
CBS.
Oh
no, like
he has worked for. He was telling me he's worked for like a lot of cool like productions in the past.
Everything looks beautiful.
You said it's giving NPR.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell your NPR joke, or is that for a show that you're saving that? Or you want to save it for a comedy set?
Yes, actually, I am going to be working. I'm going to actually have Felipe help me. I'm going to do a set. And I'm going to pick a show. I'm going to reach out to somebody. I have enough comedian friends.
You could produce your own show.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
but,
you can.
I mean, yes, but I want to do a show first.
Yeah.
Right. So I know enough of y'all's to where somebody can put me into something and I can do something.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I want to produce my own show. I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I want to start producing content. And I just have so many balls in the air right now that I'm trying to keep alive in this juggling contest called life. What was that?
I was trying to segue into challengers.
Oh, I was like, what? But yes, no, it do be a tennis match of so many things. But it's like, do you remember that episode of Wizards of Waverly Place with Octavia Spencer, Dr. Evelini, when they go to WizTech, Alex and Justin, and they have the ping pong game, but with like the 12 ping pong balls?
Yes.
That's what I feel like life is lately, where I have so many things that I want to do, not enough time. The constructs of a full-time job in this economy, whereas like you are stifling my creativity, you are stifling my ambition, but I also need you because I need money.
Yeah. And I think I'm on the opposite side where I am not employed. And it's like I'm not, because I haven't found what I like really kind of want to do. Because I've been let go from places because they said, Quandel, it does not look like you want to be there. And I didn't. And so I want to, and also I am fortunate enough to have a partner to where I don't have to like just get any job. Trust me, when I first came to LA, I picked any job.
Yeah.
I was literally an essential worker, working at a
During the
grocery
pandemic.
Yes, during the
Yeah, because when did you move out here again?
I moved out here in 2019, so like right before. And
yeah,
so,
I went home during the pandemic, and then I came back. So you grinded through it.
Because I literally had a job, so I was like a canvasser, and I was working at this grocery store because it was really hard for me to get work, and so it was like this it's called Yummy.com, and so it was like really cool and stuff like that. And until COVID happened, and so I lost the canvassing job because the Yummy thing I was like maybe doing 1 or 2 times a day. And the canvassing job, I was making so much money from it because I know ways, but you can't really do it anymore. But canvassing, that used to be a really good way to make some easy money. Anyways, that's a story for another time.
Yes, we will get into it.
Yes.
I feel like we'll be doing this for such a long time that Quandel will drop all his canvassing tea.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So after that, once COVID happened, obviously I lost that job. So.
But now you're in a nice little relationship where your man can help you out.
Yeah. So I was I was taking any job is what I was trying to get at. And so now I just don't want to do that because I know how that can just like depression has been kicking my ass and I'm not trying to deal with her anymore.
Relatable.
Okay.
Yes. I feel you. I'm right now seeking out a second part-time job so I can go back from being full-time to part-time at this place and have a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah.
And also happiness, and I don't have to be on as much because like as a creative, you need your social battery to be high because especially if you're in these like social engagement spaces where it's a comedy show, you have to be on for the audience. A podcast, you got to be on so you can like be with your friend, your co-host, and like volley the ball back and forth, like in challenges, which we'll talk about for sure. But like this job that I have right now is so socially draining that like when I get home, I don't even have energy to sit at my computer and write.
Exactly.
So I just like need to find something a little bit like, let me like just do menial office work in the background or something for a couple times a day or a couple times a week. And then like do this job on the side as well to like keep my standing here, and like health insurance is important.
Right.
But yeah, no, these days I feel like I'm just trying to like be happy, and depression really be out here in these streets. Like Mercury was in retrograde and everyone felt it. Like I had a mental breakdown a week and a half ago and I just hit a wall and I felt like I was so stressed that I was like full of like stress and I was this balloon that was about to pop. And then I just had a good hour and a half long cry session. Yeah. The next day I woke up, I was feeling a lot better. I went on a little hike and I felt like that was like a clarity moment for me. And like, you don't want to hit these walls, but sometimes hitting a wall is so important because you realize what's important to you and what's important to life. And I feel like that like restructured my mentality. But I also am trying to find something like long term. If I could have a full-time job that made me happy and allowed me to do creative stuff, I would. But like with the job I have right now, it's not my dream. It's not my dream job. I don't want to be talking to Karens all day.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, I just want to finish that up.
Yeah.
Because I know
I
was trailing off.
He was feeling the high.
I was, but I was basically saying that now that I have time I am able to do creative things that I would have never been able to do if I would have had a job that I didn't like. And so now that I'm kind of continually doing more drag shows, I'm hopefully going to be able to get into pre-production for a short and stuff like that. It's because I'm not just picking anything.
Yeah.
You know, I have to, and also with school, I'm now back in school. I can't do Monday through Friday, so it makes it also picky. So what I was trying to say is that because I'm not working, but thankfully, the reason why I'm not able to,
Your love. What? Shout him out. Give him the shout out.
Yeah, my boo Xavier.
And so you've been dating for like a year and 4 months now, right? 5 months? I don't know. Time is hard.
Yeah.
Almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
But because we met right around the time that you had started dating him.
Yes.
Because we met at a Christmas party at Dona Hita's house. So Hita is my Brazilian Los Angeles mom because she is the manager of the building that I live in. And she, I think that was part of the reason that this building felt right to me. Mm-hmm. And she knew that I was lonely and sad during the holidays because I usually go to Brazil for the holidays, but my job was like, nah. So she was like, okay, come to this Christmas Eve party. And that's where we met Quandel.
Yes.
And Quandel knows Dona Hita how?
Because my cousin is best friends with her kids.
Nice.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. So that's where we met and we became fast friends. And we bonded so quickly. And one of the things we bonded over was our competition reality shows love. So what are you watching these days? You said The Circle. Should we move into the pop culture?
Yes.
Drag Race. Okay, so Drag Race. How'd you feel about the ending of the season?
I get it, but I wanted Saphira to win. I'm so happy for Nymphia. Nymphia is a queen, and she's so freaking iconic. But I wanted Saphira.
Do you think it should have been a double win?
No, I hate double wins.
Okay, let's get into a potential debate because I feel very strongly about my perspective on this. Are you Team Trinity or Team Monet for the season All Stars 4?
Monet.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I adore Trinity, and every season I like her more and more. Yeah. But I think she was very strong in the first couple of episodes, but she kind of petered out. And Monet was the opposite, where she was climbing the whole season.
Yes.
And if you're going based on that final episode, Monet should have won. If you're going based on that final lip sync, Monet absolutely hands down won. But I think RuPaul wanted to pick Trinity. That's my conspiracy theory.
I have a question.
Yes.
What do you base your winners for you? What do you base your winners off of?
Well, so is this where I reveal that I haven't seen the last few seasons of Drag Race, except for sporadic episodes at a viewing party at a bar?
You didn't have to.
I didn't have to expose myself like that.
But it's okay.
I will be standing Roxy and Vanjie in this next season.
Yes, stand Roxy.
Yes, not
she's
Vanjie?
A perfect drag. I mean, I like Roxy, Plastique, and Chanel. I like a drag queen.
I did not like Chanel in season 1.
And Chanel's a drag queen.
That's valid. Roxy is definitely a queen first before she's a reality star.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of these queens, these modern queens, are reality stars more than they're queens. Plain Jane, she's a great queen, but she's more of a reality star that was they saw the reality star vision as opposed to oh, you are a drag queen first.
I don't get plain. I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird because it's I get it, it's plain Jane, so your drag is plain. Because it's I've seen is that not it?
I don't know. I haven't seen the season.
Okay.
But she's from Boston.
Okay, wait.
I know that.
I know she is from Boston. I think plain Jane, I want to say this. I think what she does is very good. She's very polished at being the most by the book queen. I don't feel like what she does is exciting, but I thought that was her shtick, because it's plain Jane. So I thought it was supposed to be, she's supposed to be
actually kind of funny.
Yeah, exactly. So
if
she's
there's
supposed
intentionality
to be the
behind
fiercest basic bitch out there. That's what I thought.
Jan. I love Jan.
But I feel
Jan's so hot.
But
Can we talk about it?
I don't think what do you think is hot about her?
She's basic. That's why.
But I just want to say this about plain Jane because I don't want her to come for me. Plain
Jane don't even know who you are yet.
No,
Lauren Ross will get they will when you get on Drag Race, if you ever do it, they will look for the receipts and be like, what did Quandel say about me?
All right, but just in case she does, I think she's fierce, but I was just I feel like it's we've seen it, but it's fierce.
So what we're talking about, Vanjie.
Yes.
Vanjie. So what's your take on Vanjie? No. We had a good,
you're here to reel me in. You're here to reel me in, and I appreciate it.
I was like, should I? Because when we reserved the space, there was like, will you be having alcohol? And I was like, probably not today. Let's be professional today. But I'm like, okay, good. Someone needs to be professional today. I'm not here to drag Quandel. I love Quandel.
Here, no, drag me.
I brought the talent. I am the host.
Drag me.
No, you are the drag.
Drag me, Monique.
Oh, I love Monique. Did I ever tell you the story about when Mo Hart hit on me?
Really?
Yes. So this was like...
That's not the Monique
Rocco's.
I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about Monique Samuels.
Oh, no. I was talking about Mo Hart. But so this was at the Big Brother finale for Taylor season.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked that event because my buddy Josh calls me the night before. He's like, Kyla needs help. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I'll pay you $100. And I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. So he's like, okay. So that's like, I'm like, a gig's a gig. I'll work it. So I worked the door at Rocco's for this event. Now, the venue had changed the day of. So my experience was they did not know that they didn't publicize that there was a private event that night at Rocco's. So the venue changed to Rocco's day of. It was a good event. Like if you went, I'm sure you had a good time. Like Azza made food for everyone. Like Azza was known for being a cook in the Big Brother house, part of the Cookout Alliance in season 23. And so she and Kylan were organizing this event. So I worked the door. I had all these drunk twinks yelling at me because they period.
I thought they were yelling because they were attracted to you.
Well, they should have been, but they were yelling at me because they couldn't go get into the club because it was a private event.
Oh, fuck.
And so they yelled at me and made me feel like garbage. And then at the end of the night, like I was like getting ready to call my Uber, and Mo Hart pulls up. Well, Hart pulls up just to like, this is after the event ends, and like I'm just trying to leave at that point. And Mo Hart's like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "Boston." And she's like, no. "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, my parents are from Brazil." And she then says Brazil with like 10 consonants and 8 syllables. She's like, "Brazil," like you know how Mo Hart does. And then like we're talking for a little bit. She's definitely like saying I'm attractive and everything. I'm like, "Mo, I appreciate this. I had a bad night, so even if you wanted it, it wouldn't have happened because my brain was like had hit a wall at that point. But if I ever see Mo Hart again."
Was it giving at the time?
Mo's hot.
It was
Mo can
hot.
get it.
Okay.
Just not in that night. Not with that mental space.
Was it like, what is it giving when she approached you? Was it giving drag? Was it giving like
she was in normal clothes. She wasn't in drag. Okay. Yeah. I have a photo of it somewhere that I can pull up for you. So let me do that. But who if you could have any drag queen hit on you, who would you want it to be? Like who is the most attractive drag queen to you?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, there's the British one.
The Vivian?
No.
Lawrence Chaney?
It's the one from the later season.
Tia Coffee?
I think it was 4.
Oh, Taste? No,
not Taste. It was like, what's his name?
Quandel's too high. He can't focus.
No, I seriously don't know names. Aw, you guys
we did get a photo
so
together. I don't know if anyone can see this, but whatever.
You. Oh my gosh.
Have you ever met any queens in the wild? I'll help you. I'll save you from this discussion topic.
Yeah. I've met Angina.
Angina. Oh my god, that's lovely. We love Angina.
Yeah, she was my first fave queen. Like,
were you a season 1 girly?
Yeah.
Like you were there watching Logo TV.
Yeah.
See, I got into Drag Race way late. I was like sophomore year of college.
And
Mike Bloom was talking about it on a podcast. I'm like, I love Mike Bloom. I'll watch whatever he talks about. And so I started watching, and that was All Stars 3, and I fell in love with Shangela.
Ella Day.
Mm-hmm. I didn't watch that season of UK. Again, I'm a fair weather Drag Race girly these days. I'm a casual. I love season 1 of Canada. That was a great season. That was like the last good season of Drag Race that kept me hooked. Because like Drag Race, I'll start a lot of them and then I'll fall off because I don't know, like I love it. It's just very formulaic, which I understand the criticism about Survivor and Big Brother for that reason, but I feel like the game keeps it alive. Whereas like the art of drag is exciting and it's a talent, but I think at the end of the day, RuPaul has so much control over who stays and goes, and like that's important for the show's longevity. But it's also like I'm kind of bored. I want to see like the queens. Like if the queens were playing Big Brother, I'd be watching that. Like because then I like the game mechanism. I feel like the personalities and the talent is there, but I like a strategy. I like a strategy.
Actually, I like that. Well, I like
never
the
been a big
idea
talent guy.
of that, but that's why I like that a lot of the girls, like Alyssa Edwards, she's on She's on one of the new reality shows, one of the new villain shows.
Oh, House of Villains or The Goat?
No, Goat.
With Wendell and Davon?
Yes, she's
You love
on that
Davon.
one. Yes. Wait, what is that on? I'm just
Amazon Prime, I think.
Is it on Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Oh, I have Amazon Prime. I can watch it. But yeah, like that's why.
And if you didn't, Xavier would get it for you.
Yeah. But that's why I want to. That's why I want to see Monet.
I want to see
Gunn,
Monet in the
Derek
Celebrity Big Brother
Barry.
house. Derek Barry. Put Derek Barry on like the circle.
Yes, like I just want it. Like they need to be infused in all these.
I was so bummed about Peppermint
shows.
going early on the Traitors. Like Peppermint deserved to be there. Like imagine Peppermint and Sandra like the whole season and Phaedra. That would have been iconic.
I feel like my whole thing is with these shows when you. It's like the thing is like. Remember back then when they would have one Asian or one black person. It's like when you put one of us in there, it's so easy for everybody else to be like, "Oh, we're gonna target you because you're different. You're different, you know." And shout out to Trishelle for checking out her unconscious bias and taking an unconscious bias class, because even just being conscious enough to do that, two, also being enough to shout it out and take a class on it and to do the work, I think is pretty dope. And a lot of white people.
I didn't even know she was doing a class. I thought she just kind of like addressed it at the reunion and moved on, but I didn't know she
taking a class.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. A lot of people actually need to take an unconscious bias class because a lot of people are really biased.
Have you ever done the unconscious biase test?
No,
so there's a test that I did in one of my sociology classes in college, and it was like basically like we had to do like a test about race, a test about gender, like our unconscious biases, and it was like this online quiz that you take. And I got that I am unconsciously biased towards supporting Black women, which seems right to me. Like, and I was like just based on all the standing I do, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Like I guess I have an unconscious bias against white people.
Okay.
But no, I love all people. So should we you haven't checked out Big Brother Canada, right?
No, not yet.
Okay. I kind of fell off the last week. I need to watch the last week of events. The season was so good for a while, and I think we're at the end game where it's like kind of like, oh, it feels like Big Brother is always a slow finish, I feel like. And I'm like not itching. I know who got evicted this week. Yeah. I'm curious to see how it happened, but like I definitely like it's finale week this week. I'm curious to see how it turns out, but the top of the season was so much spicier than the ending.
This season of Big Brother, we're gonna get into it together.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because I feel like I'm more into Big Brother when I'm watching it with people.
Yes.
And so yeah. I'm excited.
And you're not watching Survivor this season, right?
No.
You should. I feel like skip to the merge.
You said it was slow.
It was slow, but it's gotten better. The merge has been spicy as hell.
Okay.
This girl just called a bunch of her castmates hoe bags. They had a meltdown over Applebee's. This guy wanted to quit. It's spicy. Like this cast hates each other. Okay. They're like online talking trash.
Okay. I'll check it out.
But should we get to the main event?
Yes.
Okay. Speak it. Challengers.
Yes, Challengers. The Zendaya movie, as I call it. No,
Challengers with Zendaya, Mike Faist, and Josh O'Connor. If you want to hear all my thoughts on Challengers, I did a podcast with my friend Latanya on the Brazilian Dragon. But Quandel, let me give you the floor first, since the people might already know my thoughts if they're a dedicated, loyal Felipe fan.
Okay. Period. So
Quandel's taking the glasses off. He's like, listen.
I love this movie. Honestly, I went into this movie not thinking much. I think like a lot of people did, or just kind of being confused on what exactly it was going to be. And it exceeded all expectations. I think Zendaya played the hell out of that role. Also very weird because like me and Zendaya are on the same age, and like to see her being a mom,
right? I literally had that thought in the theater. I was like, what the hell?
I was like, wait, and it's
not. I mean, she is mother.
She is mother, but it's like it would be one thing if it was like a baby or a toddler. Like that girl could probably be in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay,
but also,
all right.
How old was Zendaya supposed to be in the movie? Because I feel like she's supposed to be like 35.
Oh, really? I think somewhere early 30s.
Yeah, because if they were in high school, maybe like 12 years ago, I feel like that was.
Were
like,
they in high school? I thought
ago?
They were freshmen.
Yeah, so they were like freshmen in college.
Yeah.
13 years ago, so that means they would have been like maybe 32.
Yeah. I thought the movie was so good. She looked so hot. The movie was hot, but she looked so hot
in that blue dress.
Oh, I was talking about
In
her
Boston.
naked, like pretty much all her like big like panty and like I was just like, oh my gosh, Zendaya,
It was a
girl.
horny theater.
I was like, wow. I mean, like honestly, the guys were attractive, of course, and I also loved that how they kept pushing the homoeroticism between the guys.
Well, do you think the guys are bi?
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's. I wanted to hear you say it out loud.
Art is Art the blonde one?
Yeah.
Art. Then who's the other one?
Patrick.
Pat is bisexual.
In real life?
They no, because remember when
You're talking about the characters.
The character.
Yeah.
So remember when he was going through Tinder, he was swiping through women, and then there was a guy, and he swiped right as well.
Oh, I need to rewatch the movie because I remember him swiping on Tinder. I guess. Well, no, like okay. My take was like they're all bisexual, or at least the boys are.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my thing is the way I viewed it. This movie was for the bi boys, so I felt so represented.
Period.
But I viewed it as Art not only wanted to be with Patrick at times, but he also wanted to be Patrick, and that was like something that I had to deal with early on, reconciling my sexuality. Is like, oh, do I just want to be like you, or do I want to be with you? That was like one of the first signs of like my bisexuality. Is like, I know I like girls, but I also really want to be this guy. I wish this girl was dating me, but I was this guy. Oh, but I also think you're really hot. Like, that's the whole thing. And I felt like Art wanted to be Patrick. Also, like, I related to Art also in terms of, like, he seemed like very much of, like, the soft boy in the dynamic, whereas, like, Josh O'Connor, he was, like, the Patrick. He was the toxic, passionate guy that Zendaya, like, she preferred sex. She was lusting for him, but she had more, like, and of emotional connection with Art.
Yeah.
But all these three characters are so toxic too, which is like kind of also why it's so hot.
Yeah, and it's good. I'm glad that it stayed. It's hard because I was like, I want to know so much about I want to know so much about Tashi Duncan.
What a badass name, by the way.
I
Tashi
know, right?
fucking Duncan.
Yes, and she ate every time.
My
every
first daughter's
era
name is
of
going to
it,
be Tashi.
Period. I felt like she did just such a good job, and I just wanted to know. I want that character on like a season of White Lotus.
Yes.
Like her and Art. I would love
Mike
that.
White, what are you doing? Put them into the White Lotus season 4. All three of them. All three of them,
yes.
Yeah.
And then you can...
Natasha Duncan will be there.
Yes. Oh, that'd be so good. But yeah, I loved it. And then I also, yes, because also you could make them all kind of like shitty people because it's all of them being shitty to each other.
Now, what happens at the end of the movie? Do you think what like from that scene? Where do they go? Like, what's the immediate aftermath of that scene where they see? Like, what's your interpretation? Like, do they go have sex in a hotel room? Do they go like their separate ways? Like all three of them? Like, do Tashi and Art get divorced? What do you think happens?
I don't think they get divorced. I think they stick it out. I think they stick it out. And I think they have one of those like relationships where they love each other but they hate each other. And yeah, and then she probably fucks.
Well, I think
the dude.
they every time they see Patrick, they like have a good dinner, they reconcile, and then they go have sex, all three of them. That's my take. And then Tashi and Art go resume normal lives, and then they are like, okay, we're just gonna be in an open relationship. You go after your tennis career ends because there's nothing like keeping. And then Zendaya's gonna go be a coach around the world, and she's gonna like hook up with whoever. Art's gonna raise their daughter.
I just don't see that. Zendaya seems like Tashi seems like the type of girl she likes what she likes, and she likes sticking to that.
This is my fantasy.
Oh,
this is my fantasy.
That's fair.
Quandel, you're not welcome in this fantasy because you're gonna shut me down. No, they go off, live their separate lives. They can make out with whoever. Tashi's gonna go around the world, coach other men, and maybe have sex with them. And then Art is gonna stay home, be a stay-at-home dad, maybe like a tennis commentator. And like I feel like that's their life. Like Tashi wants to be the business. She wants to go be with tennis.
Yeah.
More than she wants to be with Art. But like the scene where he's like looking at her puppy dog eyes, like she has so much power over him emotionally, physically. Like it's so like Luca ate it up with this movie. Luca Guadagnino. Like this makes me want to go watch his other movies that I haven't seen. I have not seen Call Me by Your Name. I know the Peach scene.
I haven't seen
but
it
like
either.
Armie Hammer is not like someone I'm actively going to want to watch these days.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big Timothy Chalamet guy. Like Wonka, I got the hype, but he's just like someone that is like, you're a person, you're a big deal. I don't get why. Like you're a solid actor, but I'm not into like you as an actor. Like for something, there's something off-putting
I
about
like
him.
him in Dune. He's good in Dune.
I just found Dune to be so boring. Come at me.
Two?
Like both of them.
Oh.
I like Dune 2 was better, but I was just like sitting there for this 3-hour movie. I'm like, some people need to teach these white men how to use the edit button. Between Denis Villeneuve, Christopher Nolan, like these movies do not have to be 3 hours. Like Challengers, 2 hours 11 minutes, perfect runtime. I feel like for like a movie of this like kind of like big artisan films, as AMC puts them, like 2 hours 15 minutes, no more. I don't think we need 3-hour movies unless it is like a blockbuster achievement of like Avengers Endgame level hype, because that movie has earned it based on what the building blocks have been. Mission Impossible, same thing last summer. It was 3 hours. It could have been 2:15, and I felt like nothing would have been lost.
I feel like they could have cut it down a tad bit, but I also
Challengers?
feel like that about every movie.
I felt that about Challengers.
I just feel okay. I understand being in filmmaking.
I think
we all want to hone in on the shot so people can really sink in. But sometimes we have to do it every emotion. I don't know.
I think for this movie, I'm willing to excuse it because it's the first time bi men have ever been represented like this.
Okay, fair.
But I see your point. If I was not a bi man, maybe I wouldn't care as much. Maybe I wouldn't get the hype.
You didn't get your honestly, yeah. When we get our representation, we're a little more lenient.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, speak on that. Like, what's your favorite gay movie, or your favorite movie about being black and gay? Which is an intersectional identity?
I want to kind of speak on the being just kind of the biases that we'll have for representation. Sometimes we're very lenient, and then sometimes we're very fucking harsh. I know, at least for my both communities, if it's really good, or if at least it's like, okay, we can identify with it, it'll be liked. But if it's like this right now, not what we're fucking with, we're all gonna shit on it, and it's a piece of shit, and it's not good. Which that's not fair, because I feel like a movie could not speak to the times, like, but it could still be a good movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, and I hear what you're saying, because I feel like there's a lot of self-loathing in the reality TV community from fans who identify with a contestant but also hate that contestant. Like, it's been very commonly, like, so we're going to go down a deep Survivor rabbit hole. So in Survivor, the skinny white nerds tend to hate the skinny white nerds that are on the show.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the Reddit fans hate like the Ryan Ulriches, the Zach Wurtenbergers, like these people that are in their same archetype. And I know a lot of the gays feel the same way with like, so many gays hate Frankie Grande from Big Brother. Like, because I think it's because of the fact that an identity is not a monolith. And then a lot of people see themselves like this is the one spot, like what you said earlier about the one Asian, the one gay person on these seasons. So now that the diversity pool has gotten better, like, I'm seeing it less and less, but people still love to hate the people that they identify with the most. And like, oh, you should be doing better. You should be like, because it's such a heavy baggage that these people who go on these shows or who make these movies for us, about us, like they are carrying the weight of a whole community. But again, an identity is not a monolith. Yeah. So it's so interesting to like hear the discourse around this, because I am a bi guy who loved Challengers, but I know another bi man who hated it. And
really? Why?
It's a coworker of mine, so I'm not gonna like get into like the details. I want to go talk to him about it and like be like, what do you hate? But he like hated it from like, he's a big pretentious film snob. So like,
oh my god,
he was like criticizing all this other stuff that I didn't agree with him anyways. He was like, snobs. The score is so annoying. The only thing
I loved the score.
The score was so good. Anyone who comes for the score will like catch these hands.
I feel like that's homophobic if you come for the score.
Agreed. I think that's also the one thing I will say, that my biggest criticism of Challengers was the sound mixing. I felt like the sound mixing was overwhelming at times, that you couldn't understand what was happening. Yeah. And like a couple of weird cuts, like in terms of like editing. But otherwise, like my critiques were so like minimal compared, and I cannot wait to rewatch this movie and like watch it. It definitely has the energy of a movie where like every time you watch it, you're gonna pick up different things from it.
It feels like a cultural, like a cult classic.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I can watch this 10, 20 years and it still feel fresh.
Yes, I am excited to show this movie to my kids when they are old enough to consume it.
Yeah, this is a good movie, okay?
This is going to be one of my most defining moments of the 2020s, I feel like, and I am putting it down here now. Stamp in time.
Yeah.
That this is one of the most culturally significant movies of my experience, and it will be like a top 10 movie of the 2020s for me. Like, this and The Batman are like the definitive movies for me, like that stand out, that like I think about constantly after leaving the theater.
And so I want to know why. Like, why is this so important?
For me, I mean, the biggest thing is the bisexual representation, but
Yeah.
also like I think the movie like was just like so of like a specific viewpoint of like life. It's like high school. It consumes like it's about human relationship and like I don't know. Lately, I feel like I've come to the conclusion of the last few months just based on a lot of things that I've been through where it's like I feel like a lot of times friendships are so strong that like if you're willing to like have tough conversations, like there's like an emotional layer that is broken. I think this movie is like about young adulthood and like navigating those hardships, and like a lot of times I feel like if people were to just have sex, they would get over the drama.
Right.
It would like smooth a lot of things out. There's just like so much tension that it's just like because it's very like it's very human and like passion is at its core, and then like what I feel like a lot of the deepest conversations you could have with someone is after sex or like before sex. It's like the like foreplay, and that's what I think this tennis like it was an allegory for sex. Like at the end he orgasms with this tennis racket, and that's why they all come back together, because the post-nut clarity is like, this is stupid. Why are we like engaging with this? Like why are we fighting for all these years? Like you were my best friend growing up. And I don't know, it like spoke to like experiences of like growing up as a queer man, like the exploration of like your own sexuality with like your friends, and I don't know, like it's just I don't know, it feels like very representative of my experience. I don't know if I'm vocalizing my thoughts well, but I feel like it's about young adulthood. It's about like multiple points in time, and like it just made me think back about like my experiences, like thinking like I feel like I'm about the age when they went to Applebee's. In the movie, and I feel like so a lot of the stuff that came before that part of the storyline I felt like I could identify with, like friendship, navigating friendships that have like horny energy, navigating like confidence, navigating self-identity. And I think it's just like a very kinetic and exciting movie to watch. Like I love movies that play around with time and tell like interesting stories, and every detail I feel like matter. Like every time we went back to flashback, it was an important detail that later comes back. Like, in the moment when he was doing the neck thing, I was like, what the fuck is he doing with this stupid tennis ball in the middle? Like, why does this... At the end, when you watch the movie, it matters so much. It is the core of the movie. So, like, I don't know. I mean, Zendaya left no crumbs. Mike Face, Josh O'Connor, they're all great. Luca Guadagnino. The script is incredible. Justin Karutsky's, I think, wrote it. I want to know what happens in Celine Song and Justin Karutsky's bedroom, because past lives and this movie are just about, like, threesomes.
Yeah. I want to say also about Zendaya. I loved her independence. I loved her confidence that she exuded in this movie. That's why I wanted to know so much about her, because she exhibited it at such a young age. At the age of 18, to go into a room of two boys and who are also kind of like at the top of their game. They're like two head jocks or whatever.
Two white prep school boys.
Exactly, and to get them into and to school them into like kissing each other, and
which they wanted to do.
Please. They wanted
like,
to do, but to read that and to like, because they wanted to bang her more, so it's like to read that, to flip it into like have them kiss each other and just to sit back and just to be like, I'm good, I'm gonna head out. I thought that was so dope. And for her, she's just been such a boss. She's been so strong-willed. She knows what she wants. She goes for it. She's a go-getter. And I think it was definitely way better to watch her run these white men.
She has a quote in the movie that's like, I'm too busy fixing. She says something about like, I don't have time to like focus on these two little white boys.
Yeah.
This movie has so many great lines, like decimate that little bitch, lives rent free in my mind. Like, your mom's looking great. She's like, I know. Like,
oh my
like,
gosh.
yeah, my mom is hot or whatever. Like,
remember, I don't know exactly the line. I'm definitely gonna be paraphrasing, where she was like, "You're 35. Your best chances are like to have a gun in your mouth." Or I forgot the exact line.
She also compares.
But remember, she just read the hell out of him. Like, not Art, but Pat. She read the hell out of Pat when he's like, "I don't think you want me," and she just like. And because he was asking her to be the coach, and she just tore into him. I was like, God damn, she's lethal.
So good. I love her. I love them. I want to find the data after this movie, like in the next few years. I want to see the data of like more bisexual men being open, and then also like how many couples are like in threesomes or threuples after this movie.
Yes.
Like I feel like this movie is gonna have the MMF search on Pornhub way higher.
Also, I want to see Zendaya in a Lethal Attraction type of movie.
I want to see Zendaya in everything. Put her in everything. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, cancel the film industry. Just make it the Zendaya industry.
I know, and I no, because I don't want
No.
to be that, because I know I really just like she's in everything, and that. But the thing is, there's hype, and there's always like these
But she
artists.
delivers. So this movie, I was so
exactly.
excited for it. I was like, this is not going to live up to the hype. And it exceeded. That's
what
one
I
of the
mean.
few times that it's exceeded the hype. And Zendaya is a big part of it, I think.
And I feel like the difference between a Timothy Chalamet and a Zendaya is Zendaya delivers.
Yeah. T.
And no shade to Timothy. Obviously, he's there for a reason, But
He's just a basic white boy who went to LaGuardia. Is he anything? Like, I feel like my biggest thing, he did great in Wonka. Like, that's the time that I was like, oh, I kind of get the hype.
Yeah.
I still think, not to bring it back to Zendaya, but Tom Holland would have been a much better Wonka. I feel like he has the mannerisms of the original Willy Wonka. And I feel like I think Timothy did a good job. But I feel like Tom Holland, little tap dancing boy, Spider-Man doing flips and kicks, I feel like he embodies the original Willy Wonka from the 70s so much more. But whatever. Like, at the end of the day, it's not my movie, not my rabbit that I have to deal with.
Speaking of Spider-Man, have you seen? I don't know how much time we have.
We got about let's finish it up here and then we'll start wrapping up.
Okay. Have you seen X-Men?
X-Men 97?
97.
No, I haven't. Is that horrible?
Yes.
Am I haven't.
I gotta take your nerd gay card away.
Well,
your
you can
nerd
keep
bi queer.
Thank you.
Queer.
Thank you.
Nice.
No, I felt like I had to watch the original X-Men series to do it. And I've seen the first season like a few years ago. But like, do I need to? Like, can I just jump into it?
No.
No, I need to watch X-Men, the original animated
Oh,
series.
no. You have to just watch the
97.
97.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll add it to my list, my ever-growing list. Right now, I'm focused on finishing Ted Lasso recently. Like, Ted Lasso had me in a blender the other day because I was crying my eyes out. Have you seen Ted Lasso?
I can't get into
No worries. Then I'm going to spoil it for you.
Okay.
So, in the second season, there's a player named Colin who makes a joke about Grindr. And then in the third season, we find out that he's gay. And he's closeted. And then eventually, like, there's someone in their community of this. She's not one of the soccer players, but she's like Keely. She like has one of her nudes leaked online or something, and then so the team captain's like, everyone delete your nudes off your phone.
Period.
And one of the team captain accidentally sees on Colin's phone like him with another guy. I guess it's like we don't see the photo, but it's like presumably like him doing stuff with another man. And then he bottles up the emotions. And we assume it's because he's homophobic, but then he yells at a fan because a fan calls him the F slur, calls the team they're playing like that, and he like punches him and gets a red call and gets kicked out. And he's like, what if that's one of us, like in the locker room? And then Colin comes out to the team, and I'm just in a blender crying. I'm like, this is so beautiful. And then his team supports him, and I just love that. And so Colin's really hot, so it's like, damn. I don't know if the actor's gay, but shout out to Billy Harris. I think that's his name. And the guy who plays Isaac. We love that episode. It had me. It's
Is he the cocky one?
there are a lot of cocky ones. No, that's Jamie Tart, I think.
Okay, yeah.
His hair is a mess in these later seasons, but whatever.
Is it the dark-haired one that was the writer, and then he ended up being an
Roy
actor
Kent?
on
No,
the show?
no,
Okay,
that he's a coach at this point in the show. We can run down Ted Lasso. So I have like 2 episodes left later. But Quandel. So, what is something that you are excited for in the next month, and then something in the last month that you want to like rant about and get it out of the way? Like, we have a few minutes left.
Well, I end school, this semester of school, so I'm hoping that we end it off on a really high note, and I get some summer classes in there. And then also...
So for the month of May 2024, so you want to get some summer classes in there. That's your what you're looking forward to?
Also, yeah, and then hopefully I can do a set this month or next month, whatever. Start pre-production, and then hopefully I get another drag gig
And what are you leaving behind in April 2024?
I'm leaving behind Doubt, and I'm leaving behind the Inner Saboteur, and yeah, I'm leaving behind all the negative.
Awesome. For me in May, I am excited for my Chicago trip this week. I'm excited to like continue to learn about myself, continue dating myself, which I feel like has been something that I've been trying to learn how to do, learning more about my values and my boundaries and therapy. And then in terms of what I'm leaving behind in April, aspirations to grow in this job that I'm currently at. I think this was a big turning point, April, for me. Is like, I don't know. When I started this job, I was like, oh, I want to do this. I want to grow in this department. Now I'm like, I don't need to be a lead here. Like, if it happens, it happens. But like, I don't want to grow in this job. I just want to kind of like start taking care of myself, finding out what values I need, and like pushing towards like my long-term career goals. But for now, just focusing on trying to find a second job to maintain financial stability and then also keep my happiness up.
Yes.
Any pop culture things on the horizon that you're excited about?
Yes. Real Housewives of New Jersey is beginning this week, and I'm very excited about that. I'm a big Housewives.
You're gonna keep me
fan.
updated on the Housewives, on the Bravo Labs.
Oh my god.
For me, Survivor's wrapping up. Excited to see who wins this season. Big Brother Canada, of course. I'm trying to think, is there anything on the horizon in terms... they have Inside Out 2 in June, which I'm optimistic about. Cautiously optimistic because I got burned by Lightyear. But
I feel like it's going to be iconic.
Yeah. I'm also excited my mom's coming to town in May. So we're going to go to Disneyland.
Are you guys going to watch it together?
No, not for that. We might go see The Lion King at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, period.
Which I'm excited about. And then we're going to go to Disneyland. But Quandel, where can the people keep up with you? The good people of social media.
If you want to follow me on my drag Instagram, The Awkward Drag Queen.
Yes, we love that. The Awkward Drag Queen on Instagram. In terms of me, you can follow the Brazilian Dragon content on Instagram at the Brazilian Dragon. That's where I post all the podcasts I'm doing, all the comedy stuff I'm doing. In terms of me personally, you can follow all my main stuff at What the Fleep on Twitter and Instagram. If you follow my Twitter, it's mostly talking about reality TV. In terms of the Challengers podcast is definitely something you should keep your eye out.
Yeah.
Check out if you've seen the movie. Go watch Challengers in theaters. That's what I want everyone to go do with their time. But thank you for joining us for the first inaugural episode of Cultural FAQs. We got to find do you think it should be facts or FAQs? How should we introduce it?
I like FAQs.
Okay, yeah, because if you don't get it, cultural, we love culture, and then Felipe and Quandel. Period. And give us ideas for segments or what you want us to discuss. You can email me at Felipe at BrazilianDragonPodcast.com or reach out to us on social media. But we're excited. Hopefully we'll get some guests involved as well. Like we mentioned her, Quaytan. We got to get her. Go follow her. Go follow her on social as well.
Follow Tangela. Follow Quaytan. Follow Hannah. I forgot her last name.
Hannah's on for mayor.
Follow her. Follow.
And go follow Zendaya.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Nicole.
Let's try to get Zendaya on this podcast. That's the goal, right?
Period.
She is that's our
interview.
long-term goal. Get Zendaya on this podcast, right?
That's her
because I know Las Culturistas wanted Mandy Moore forever. They got her. We want Zendaya.
Our short-term goal will to get what's our short-term goal? What should we do?
Get a second episode.
Okay, period. Okay, yeah, let's go.
All right, but y'all, it has been nice here. Thank you again to Dustin for doing all of our tech today in this amazing studio.
Yes,
and until next time, everyone, goodbye.
Bye.